Hello everyone and welcome into the channel. My name is Brent. I sat down to buy life insurance a few months ago and was hit with a decision that could cost me tens of thousands of dollars over the next few years. Term life insurance or whole life insurance, we've all heard it. After tons of research, comparing costs, and looking at my financial goals, I made the decision. And honestly, I wish more people would be open and talking about this. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and cover why I chose term life insurance over whole life. One decision, two very different outcomes. The truth about insurances most people overlook. Term life fits fire and financial independence, retire early goals a lot sooner, right? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, would really appreciate if you go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up, subscribe. I help people build long-term wealth by staying consistent through simplified investing challenges and real transparency. So subscribe to stay consistent and hit that thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get into it. So number one, understanding the basics of whole life insurance and term life insurance. What is the purpose of life insurance? In most cases, that's to have insurance, financial protection while you're living, or in the event that you're no longer there to provide, right? It's kind of that financial protection. So, term life insurance, when I looked at the policy, it was very simple. It's temporary in that term called, for the word called term, and it's much, much more affordable versus whole life. Whole life is something that I'd heard the terms term life insurance and whole life insurance, but it's really a lot of the agents when they sell something to you, it's going to be more likely a whole life insurance policy, right? These policies are permanent. If you start paying into them at the age of 20 or 30, you're going to be paying into them for the remainder of your life unless you cancel that policy. And often there's a lot of negatives that can come with canceling that policy. In the event of, you're not there any longer, it often provides a much less payout in that event versus term life insurance. That's why term life insurance is often sought after more, because you have goals in your life and you're trying to hit these specific goals, and in the event that you're not able to reach that age to hit those goals, term life insurance kind of makes up by paying your family that difference. But we'll talk more into that here in just a minute, right? So term life insurance, whole life insurance, which one was better? Now, why I considered whole life insurance at first, doing research between whole life insurance, term life insurance, and I came across this ad online saying, hey, would you like to get a free will and estate planning thing? Is completely free. I put in my information in there and boom, I got a phone call saying, hey, let's get together. I want to set up this free will kit for you. We'll go over some estate planning completely for free. And it seemed harmless at first, but I took the call. We got on a Teams call, and right off the bat, we started getting all these information kind of back and forth as to like what our goals are, who should be in our will. And after the stuff was all done and said, he started pitching the whole life insurance policy. Right now, what kind of policies do you have in place? So you don't have any policies in place. Well, with our policy here, you can get $250 for emergency room benefits. If you end up in the hospital, staying a few days, you can get $500 a day by staying in the hospital. If you end up in intensive care, you get $1,000 for up to 14 days. In the event that you're unalive, you get a $100,000 payout in any case. Right. And then for that first year, your spouse generates or makes $6,250 of income here to kind of help with anything. Right. Doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound good? Right. So on paper, the cash value sounded like a good investment. You're putting money into this fund and it's building up over time. They said very similar to, he's like, hey, you're familiar with investments in stocks, Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, right? This is for your life. You should take advantage of it because you're already building up your investments over there. Why not build up your whole life investment here? So they have that whole lifetime coverage. It sounded very secure, not only for now during your life right now, but even in the event in the afterlife. So they just really pushed promised stability. The main thing that kind of drew me here was the constant sales pitching was very strong. Even after our Zoom call had ended, there was emails on a daily basis to kind of getting, another call together to see where we are at. Have we made a decision? We could chat about some different numbers to see, what would work out better. And the whole sales pitch came on very strong, and it didn't provide a lot of the benefits that I was looking after in the current time frame, right? Those living benefits, they're okay, but oftentimes they're not going to be used. You're paying into something that is very expensive for what it's offering unless you need those benefits. So why I ended up going with term life insurance instead, a whole lot cheaper. I'm thinking about maybe 1/6 of the price difference of what whole life insurance offered. So scratch that, across the board, 1/6 of the price was slashed away. The coverage was only during critical years. So right now I'm 40. Over the next 10, 20 years, I have financial goals I want to hit. And by the age of 60 or so, I should have my investments in place. My mortgages should be paid off. I should have no more mortgage. I should have no more car loans. Everything should pay it off and be cash flowing. Being able to use Social Security, being able to use my investment income, rental income, all of that, right? So I needed only coverage during the next 20 or so years that I'm able to fulfill my goals. Now, the main thing here is you want protection for your family, your spouse, your loved ones. But in my case, I also want to continue building wealth on the side. So I want to be able to invest that difference between what I'm able to save, right? I'm able to save I'm only paying 1/6 of the price of the whole life insurance. So the term life fits a lot better. Financial independence, retire early plan. My whole plan over the next 20 years, it just kind of fits into that a lot sooner. So question for you guys, would you rather pay $50 a month and invest that difference of $150, $200, or get lifetime coverage and forced savings? Let me know down in the comment section below. Now, the math behind the decision here. My term life policy for a 20-year term for $700,000. And again, when it comes to term life insurance, these payouts to the living individual is often non-taxed, right? So there's no taxes going into that when it's paid out. So it's $700,000 in the event that I'm not able to fulfill my goals over the next 20 years of the term, and it's only $55 a month versus the whole life insurance policy. I believe like the base, or maybe the base was around $10,000 payout in the event that I'm no longer there, and that was like a terrible payout. They wanted $240 a month, or roughly $2,880 a year, right? Term life insurance, $660 a year, $55 a month. I'm 40 and I needed term life insurance for the next 20 years. So the difference there was anywhere from $2,220 to upwards of $2,500 in a yearly basis. So if I took that difference of $185 a month, which is roughly $50 or so a week, and invested that over the next 5 to 10 years, that could actually generate over $100,000, if not much, much more over the lifetime. So that difference of the payout was just huge difference there when I looked at the comparisons. And I only needed term life insurance during the specific term, right? I don't need whole life policy right now while I'm living because I have other things in place that I'm working on, right? Your financial goals and stepping stones that you're kind of putting in place, hopefully. So this all goes back to your guys' personal finance. What are your goals right now that you're working on to set up for your future? Are you currently covered by life insurance? Why or why not? Let me know down in the comment section below. But otherwise, term life insurance just made more of a financial, better financial decision than whole life insurance. When whole life insurance makes sense. So kind of going back to it, when does whole life insurance make sense? Now, if you've reached the ripe old age of 60, 70, and you're beginning to want to take some benefits from that whole life insurance policy, right? Kind of going back to the benefits of a whole life insurance policy. If you're in the emergency room often, if you're visiting the hospital for some daily issues, then the whole life insurance policy at the age of 60 or so could be beneficial. You get $250 for visiting, when you're in the ER. You get $500 if you're in the hospital, $1,000 if you're in intrusive care for up to 14 days. You may not need in the event of something happening to you, right? Because you're already 60, 70, you probably have other investments that'll cover your loved ones and everything's already paid off, and you have a will in place that's going to take care of the after stuff already, right? So that's where whole life insurance makes more sense and you're doing that estate planning strategies already. Well, hey, we need something to take care of us right now while we're living, but we already have all our investments, our mortgages are paid off, everything's paid off, our trust is set up, our will is set up. If something happens to us afterwards, that's already set up to go. We just need something while we're alive. And that's where the whole life policy makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Have you guys ever been pitched whole life insurance anywhere, in the past or, here recently? Let me know down in the comment section below. What did they say to you? Did you go with it? What did did you not go with it? I've heard a lot of horror stories while I was doing research that individuals started paying into it when they were 20 or 30, and then they paid into this policy for 10 years, put $66,000 towards this policy only to have a death benefit of $10,000 or $100,000. And like they're already paying more into the whole life insurance policy and then they would actually get out of it, and they didn't take advantage of any sort of benefits, right? So it really is up to the individual to make those choices. So final thoughts and takeaways. It's really important to understand which type of policy you need, whether it's term life insurance or whole life insurance. In most cases, it really is term life insurance, right? It's going to give you that flexible term. It's going to be much more affordable. You're able to invest that difference, which if you're watching this channel, you're probably out there already investing in a taxable account, Roth IRA, 401k, Roth 401k, right? HSA, you're doing some type of investments already. So most cases, term life insurance is the best bet because you want your term to be covered up until you're able to complete your financial goals. So always run the numbers yourself, but that's basically it. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you guys have term life insurance or whole life insurance? If you guys are interested in getting a completely free quote, no obligation to you guys, check out the link down in the pinned comment down below. That's who I went through, Policy, I believe, and completely free to get a quote. I was able to get several different quotes and comparisons of how much I would go through. I had initially gone through Ethos, and Ethos was around $120, $130 for the same coverage I was able to get by going through Policy. So if you guys have got a policy through Ladder, Lemon, I think it is, or Ethos online, I would highly recommend checking out Policy, which I believe is the main one that I went through. There'll be a link down in the pinned comment. I really do appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out with me today. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys have a policy in place or are considering it. I would really appreciate it. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. Give this video a big old thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.